Okay, how you folks doing? Happy Friday to everybody. Today is Friday, March the 13th, 2020, 2020. Okay. I want to speak on a subject that, I'm somewhat passionate about, and I tend to disagree with a lot of people on this subject, and this is the subject of the relationship employers should have with their employees. Now, several years ago, many years ago, really, I've often heard this term. It's almost a motto for a lot of jobs that the customer is always right. And I call bull hockey on that term. And I'm going to tell you why. I know a lot of people, when you're in business, your customers are your lifeblood. I understand that. And, without customers, you really don't have a business and you can't make a profit. But a lot of people take this term, the customer is always right, to the extreme. I've worked in jobs where you had to deal with customers. I was a waiter at a Pizza Hut one time. I worked at a fast food restaurant and, things of that sort. And one thing I can tell you is customers can be a bit trifling sometimes. And a lot of customers, excuse me here, a lot of customers can be a little contrary sometimes. Sometimes a customer might come in and they just might not like you. They might not like the way you look. They might not like the way you talk. You might have an accent or something. And they might know you from somewhere else and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to give this person a hard time. And so they give you a hard time, but then they'll complain that you're the one who's giving them a hard time, and they'll lie on you to the manager. So, is the customer right? If the customer has some type of a grudge or some type of, enmity or whatever against you, is the customer always right? Folks, that term does not mean that you throw your employees under the bus. And a lot of jobs do this. And it ticks me off to no end when employers do this. They'll take the customer side before they take the employee side. Now, if the employee is wrong, yes, the employee needs to be disciplined. But you just don't take the customer's word, at face value and say, well, the customer said this about you and everything, and I'm going to have to do something about this and everything. You're just going by your customer. But the customer could be, acting like a bonehead. But, the customer is always right. The customer could be just trying to give you a hard time. But the customer is always right. I don't know where this comes from or, what kind of thinking came into bringing this phrase about. And a lot of people use that. And I think what it is, it's a money thing. I think it's a money thing. Hey, let's just let the customer think they're right, so we can continue getting their patronage over here, so we can get some money for our business. And I see it happen so many times. The customer will go off on an employee. The employee is totally innocent, but the manager or the supervisor or the director or whoever, they'll get on their employee who was totally innocent and tell them, well, there are things you should have done and you got to understand this customer and everything like this. But your employee didn't do anything wrong. Your employee gave good service. Your employee gave good quality of service, but you still want to make it like your employee is the one who's in the wrong because this customer is upset, and you don't want the customer to be upset because, they might take their business somewhere else and take their dollars with them. And if you're thinking like that, then I think you are just greedy. You're just plain out greedy. Look, the customer is not always right. A lot of times when I go into a business, I come in there and see. One thing I understand is that respect goes both ways. It's a door that swings both ways. Okay. And when I come in to a business or an establishment, I don't come in there like I'm privileged or, you owe me something. I come in here and you all better give me good service. Well, what about you giving the establishment good service? Why don't you show them respect? Oh, I ain't got to show them respect. I ain't got to show them, but they better respect me. Well, then you're a bonehead then. You're a bonehead. And if you want to be a bonehead, then you shouldn't go anywhere. Just stay at home. Make your own food, or, try to make a living like that. But you don't come in there with that attitude of they better treat me right, because you never know. The business, the person who's serving you, they might be having a bad day, And, this professionalism people keep talking about, professionalism goes both ways, But that person might be having a bad day. They may have made a mistake, and this is my mentality when I go into a business. This is my thinking when I go into a business. Hey, that person, they probably didn't come in like, shoot, I ain't going to give them no good service or anything like that. I won't care. They might be having a bad day. Something might be on their mind. They might be stressed out, or they just might make a simple mistake. People are not perfect. And this is one thing we all need to understand. But we come in and we thinking, we're going to get good quality of service every time we go into a certain establishment. It's not going to happen. Yes, they're supposed to give you good quality service. Yes, I understand that. But there are days when the employees are going to be off a little bit. And I understand this because, like I said, I used to work out back in 1987. I worked as a waiter at Pizza Hut in Washington, D.C. And boy, oh boy, was it an eye-opener. And I told myself I never want to be a waiter ever again. I've never been one since. But people don't understand what's going on in the back room or the back kitchen or the back office or whatever. Nobody understands that. They just, oh, well, you got to be professional. Well, if you're going to tell people to be professional, then you need to make it up in your mind to be professional as well. And I can understand being professional, even if the customer is not being professional. But employers, don't throw your employees under the bus. This customer is acting like a jackass, and you're still going to get on your employer because of the reaction of your customer. Your customer could be lying through their teeth, but you still want to throw your employees up under the bus. Why are you even a supervisor? Instead of throwing your employees under the bus, why don't you take your employee to the side and say, hey, look, this customer, they made some complaints about you and everything, but hey, I got your back. I got your back because, this customer tends to have a little attitude sometimes. They tend to be a bonehead sometimes. I just want to get you out that situation. Just want to tell you, I still got your back. I'm not going to throw you under the bus or anything like that, but, just, take a deep breath and everything. I know you haven't done anything wrong. I know you're innocent of what the customer is saying. That's how you show leadership. But a lot of you all who are supervisors, you all should not, you all need the only reason why you're a supervisor is because you like that power. You like that authority. And that's all you care about. That's all you care about. Hey, I'm the employer, you're the employee, you just do what I say, whether it's right or wrong. And, I want to talk to some of you all who call yourselves Christians. Those of you all who are employers and you call yourselves Christians and you have this mentality of, the customer is always right. I'm going to crack the whip and I don't care what you say and everything. Let me make a suggestion to you. You should, stop being a supervisor. B, stop confessing the name of Jesus. Or C, both. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If you call yourself a Christian, and you involve yourself in this type of activity, how in the world can you call yourself a Christian and you're going to throw your employees up under the bus all because a customer has a certain complaint? Because you may have, made a funny face or something, and the customer just goes all off. Oh, did you see that face that they made? And then you're going to come and take your employees to the side and say, you shouldn't be making those kind of faces and everything. Nah, but the customer is a drama queen or drama king, But most of the time when you have these complaints from customers, nine times out of 10, it's a woman. And I'll even go so far to say that 9 times out of 10, it's a black woman. I'm going to say something about that in another video too, about the nastiness some of these black women, like to engage in. But folks, if you are a Christian and you call yourself a supervisor, then your Christianity doesn't stop because you're a supervisor of a job. Yes, you have a business. Yes, you do. You're in that business to make a profit. I understand that. But making a profit shouldn't come at the cost of throwing your employees up under the bus simply to appease a stupid customer who wants to act like a jackass, wants to be a drama queen. Now, like I said, if you call yourself a Christian and you have this mentality of the customer is always right, you should stop claiming to be a Christian or stop being a supervisor or just both. Because you're neither one. You're not a leader and you're not a Christian. So that's just my take on this. And I know I sound a little harsh and whatever, but that's just how I see it. And I know that if I ever, came to the point where I owned a business and everything and whatever, first of all, that mentality of the customer is always right, that's going out the window. You can if your business is good enough and you got just this one customer that acts like a jackass, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, the customer is always right. Look, you can take your business somewhere else. I'll be fine because I got enough customers to take care of this. But if you're displeased with the service that you get here, you can always take your business somewhere else. Because I'm not here to cater to your attitude. That is not what I'm here for. I'm not here to cater to your attitude. Yes, customers are important for the lifeblood of my company. But I have enough customers who come in and are respectful to the point where I don't have to deal with this customer. You can go somewhere else. And another thing I want to add before I end this video, whenever I go to an establishment, I notice a lot of people, they have this thing that, I ain't got to show you any kind of respect. You just got to show me respect, especially among black people. But whenever I go to an establishment and they give me my, my food and whatever, I tell them, have a nice day. Just a simple thing. Have a nice day. Now they'll break their backs to tell me to have a nice day. But like I said, respect goes both ways. I tell them, have a nice day. And a couple of times, people are kind of taken aback by, wait a minute, the customer told me to have a nice day? Because they're already trained to tell their customers to have a nice day. And I think that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a good thing that they tell their customers to have a nice day. But those of us on the outside who are the customers, we're not working in an establishment, we need to have the mentality to always show people respect. Even the people who are serving us our food or whatever product or service that they're offering to us, show them some respect. Respect goes both ways. And stop this entitlement mentality like, I don't care how I act, they better show me some respect. You're stupid. And for the supervisors and whoever heads or leaders who cater to this type of mentality, you're stupid too. And I don't mince words when I say it. Stupid is a word I don't like to use, to be honest with you. But if you are a supervisor and you always like to throw your employees up under the bus because of some complaint from a boneheaded customer, you're stupid. You're a stupid supervisor. So folks, cut this mess out. Cut it out. Just cut it out. You know, learn some respect. Yes, if you are an employer, yes, there's a certain level of professionalism that you have to show. And I would like to say that I admire those type of people who can take a lot from customers acting stupid. I admire those kind of people. But if you are a supervisor, and you notice a customer is always using abusive language or whatever, and they holding a grudge against one of your employees or whatever, and you take the side of the customer, you're a stupid person who shouldn't be supervising anyone at any time. I'm Vincent E. Brown. Let me sign off here. Until the next time, I'll see you on the rebound.